Right. Good night, good evening. Hey, how y'all doing? We back with another episode of Friday Straight Transparency. And we're gonna wait for y'all to come on in and like, share, and comment. Let us know you're here. And if you didn't sign up with Restream, it's probably gonna call you a Facebook user or some type of user. So just say your name so that we can acknowledge you. Um, that way we don't have to overlook anyone. So I'm gonna see if I could pin this, which I should. There it is. All right. Well, I pinned it on.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Good. So, all right. All right. So y'all come on in. Y'all like, comment, and share. I am here tonight with Coach TaMuriele Stapleton
Come
of
on in,
Tested.
y'all. Like, comment, and share. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Oh, I'm gonna say. So I'm here with Coach TaMuriele Stapleton of Tested Solutions, Financial and Coaching, Credit Coaching. Sorry, y'all. And we're here because there's a lot of questions that surround the difference between a mentor and a coach. And there is a difference. There's a difference because you don't necessarily need a certification to be a mentor. But however, there's different areas that you can be a coach in, and one should be certified to coach in those areas. So I have we're having this conversation because I had some questions around coaching, and I became a mentor because I like the idea of helping to show somebody their creative side and what they can do with the talent that God has given them, the talent that they have, the skill set that they have. So when a person says that they're an artist, my job is to create things around art that can get them involved and motivate them to want to further pursue their art career. And a lot of people think that because art is overall, people look at art, it's not just painting, it's not just drawing, but art is music, art is poetic, art is dance, art is backflips, painting angels in the snow. Whatever you feel art is to you, that's what it is. So that's why I became a mentor. Now, I thought about becoming a coach, but I sort of always got those confused. So tell me, coach, what is a coach? What do they do? Well, what is a coach? What is the actual what is the actual what is the actual thing that a coach does, and how did you become one? I was trying to think of something else, but I got tongue tied, so I'm gonna just go that route.
No, you're fine. That's a good question because people do kind of get those two things mixed up, and a mentor and a coach are two different things. So I'll kind of tell you what the difference is and then kind of take you back to how I got into it. A mentor is someone is there, basically someone walking beside you, helping you, but they're giving you a lot of instruction based off of their own life, based off of their own experiences. You kind of helping someone to guide them in a direction, whichever way they're going, but they need help. Like they don't have the answers. They need some like direction. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. As far as a coach, these are people that pretty much, I'm not going to say have it together because do we always have it together? No, we don't always have it together. But for the
Right.
most part, life is good. Life is, you got pretty much everything down pat, and there's a issue. Like you have the ability to see that you're stuck in an area and you have tried and attempted to come out of that area, but everything you're doing is kind of failing. So you kind of seem to be going around in circles in a specific area most of the time, but sometimes it can be various. And that's when you reach out to a coach, because the coach really is more like an accountability partner. We are not there to give you the right answer, but
Right.
we're helped to guide you to the answer, because everything you decide to do is something that you decided to do. It's not something that we tell
Right.
you, this is what you need to do, this is where you have to go. And a lot of times we have the answers. Most of the times we have the answers to all of our questions, but we don't really know how to get there. So
Right.
sometimes it's about just bringing that structure so we can see it from a different perspective.
Okay. Okay. So that tells me a lot
Yeah.
about a coach, and those are two different areas. And coaching in let's just say this coaching. How would you coach someone? I've showed how I would coach, I would mentor someone in art. How would you coach someone in that area? Like,
In
what
art,
would yes, what would a coach do to bring that type of business out of this person if it's one of their if it's their business, it's their career.
okay. So it would have to be a specific thing that they're looking for. So if, say, in for instance, they're in art and they're trying to determine maybe what type of art they're going to do. Am I going to do children's art? Am I going to do abstract art? Um, Now they can do it all, but they feel like they need to kind of focus in an area. So they're trying to determine which area.
Hmm.
In the determining of trying to figure out which way they're trying to go, there's a lot of things that mix in. So I can't just give you a yes or no, but it's a lot has to do with their own life experiences. So when we're talking about art, we're still talking about life, because I'm not going to say, well, no, we can't talk about that because we're focused on art. But
Hmm.
life leads into art,
Right.
and life can affect the way you paint and the things that you make and what you produce. So just helping them to understand where they are and what they're trying to get by asking good questions then helps them to figure out exactly what area which area they need to move forward in.
Okay. Okay. So that's I mean and that's kind of like where I was with the business that I started. Actually, my nonprofit, Pushback Not Held Back, and I understand nonprofit, but I kind of been kind of locked as to how I want to lunge it right now, because I'm also in a new state, so I'm kind of locked on that, and I know I'm going to consult with you afterwards, but um if you can give me a little nibbit, like I just I know how to put the nonprofit together. I know how to do the I've done the paperwork. Now it's just, you know how somebody had writer's block, and
Hmm.
you start strong, but then all of a sudden everything is a block. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at a block
Okay.
because I think it's the fear of being in a new place and having to learn
Yes.
everybody. So how would I get over that? How can I
Um,
come to that?
and see, for you to say that, for me, if I didn't know, I would think, if I was just a watcher and I'd never been to a coach and didn't really know the process, I would think, well, that seems easy, you know? But, and it sounds like an easy fix. But like you just called out yourself, I think it might be some fear about where I just moved to, right? A lot of times we kind of know, but we can kind of pinpoint where it's really coming from. And you go back over your list, you go back over things. The coach is there also to help. It's not like we won't give you any answers or any suggestions, but we're not there to help you, tell you what decision to make. We're there to help you make, hopefully, the decision that you feel most at peace with by asking those questions. But I would take those things that I feel like now, depending on what area of business, like I said, when you're certified to coach, you can coach anyone in any area of their life. But when it gets to specifics, like if it's just basic general business, of course I'm gonna coach you. But if it gets to a place where you're needing to know more fundamental stuff about the business, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say that's beyond my expertise, but I am connected to a business coach. And I would refer you over to the business coach that I'm already connected to, because I want the people that I'm connected to be successful. So when I get to a point where I can't continue to help them, then I'm going to send them in the direction of someone that I know that will take them to the next level.
There's you, and I
Now,
know. Uh-huh.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
And now this is your entrepreneur. This is your business. This is what you do, and you're a black woman, black owned business, successful. And I know there's a lot of black women who want to get out there. There's a lot of black women who are afraid to succeed, more so afraid to fail. But one of the statistics in our black community is always finances. It's always finances because you want the help, but the cost or the price may be a bit too expensive. What that what can you tell us when it comes to the actual cost? Is it like expensive? Can I afford would I be able to afford it? What does the scheduling and all that look like?
Okay. So you are, just to make sure that I'm clear, you are referring to coaching services, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Um, I try to make it affordable, and that's not always the best thing because coaches get paid a lot of money, you know. But I, just because of where I am, I've always wanted to help people. I just want to help you get into a better place. And I've done it for so long for free. And so I started my first ministry, Heal People, Help People, which is a ministry of healing. And that was more mentoring.
I get
And
this.
but through that mentoring, I also did some coaching, along the way as well. But I did in my past, I focused more on mentoring. I have also helped some people in some financial issues as well, but I helped myself first. So, and you know what? I'm going into two different areas. So let me stay focused. You know how your mind just starts moving. So the question is the cost. The cost, you know, one of the things I say, we should not get caught up on cost when it's something that we know we need, right?
Mhm.
Because we'll go out here and pay whatever we want for whatever we want, whether it be tennis shoes, whether it be boots, whether it be clothes, whether it be a car. A lot of those things we don't actually need, but we get them because we want them. And then we get to the place where we know we need something, and then the price connected to it, and then we begin to convince ourselves, no, I don't need that, or I can't afford that. But you can afford anything that you put your mind to. Exactly. Well, I won't say anything. the, she said I could go afford a Lamborghini, so I'm about to no. Be wise, be wise in everything that you do. Be wise in everything that you do. And I am a financial coach, so I would not advise, if I was giving advice, you to go in that direction. But if you told me that's what you was gonna do, I'm like, that is your decision, and I'll support you.
Right.
But when as far as come to coaching, like I said, I try to keep it affordable, but it sometimes it will depend on how much areas of coaching that you need, because everybody doesn't have just one area. It's
Mhm.
kind of a multiple areas, and some people just have one focus, and this is the focus that I want, and you can pretty much determine how long it's going to be, and I'm going to set the price. So what I would encourage anyone to do is to just book your free consultation.
Mhm.
Everyone gets your first time free 15-minute consultation, where we'll kind of dig into what it is that you're trying to get coaching in. And then at that time, I can let you know what it's going to look like. But in general, coaches range anywhere from $30 up to $500 an hour.
Mm.
Okay. But the coaching sessions usually are 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Um, I do say block out an hour. I won't cut you off if there's some things going on that we need to get out, but I don't try to hold you. If we get to 30 minutes and we've discussed everything that we needed to discuss in that session and have gotten to a good place, then I'm gonna let you go. There's no point of just dragging it out because it's set for an hour. But yeah, the first thing I would do is just schedule that free consultation, and you have the website posted, healpeoplehelppeople.com/ts coaching. You can go there to book that free consultation. And I'm pretty much, am doing this on the side. So I basically do it after work, but I do, my schedule is Monday through Friday, 6 to 6 to 9, but it's really 6 to 8 because the last appointment you can book is 8 o'clock, but that's for that hour slot. And then on Saturdays, 10 to 5, and Sundays, the same, I believe. No, Sundays is 2 to 7. So I'm very flexible. Most of the things are done online. It doesn't mean that I can't meet with you in person unless you're not in the same city with me. And that's one of the things I'm well, not really challenged, but I'm in a new city as well. But getting out there to meet people, I just started going on Facebook and look for networking opportunities, and just started showing up. Showing up prepared, just getting your name out there, because somebody everywhere needs somebody to walk with them through something.
Mm-hmm. And I can attest to that because, good evening, Brother Mo. I can attest to that because I first learned of the ability that you had in coaching and mentoring when you coached me through some hard times. And the thing about it is, I had to let go I had to let go of me in reality so that I could receive from you, because I was people can get stuck in what they're going through so much that they don't see the help. And I was willing to get the help. I was willing to allow you to speak into my life in order that I might be healed by the words, or the word that you were given to me, or that God gave you for me. And again, I feel like there's such a stigma in our community with mental health, mentoring, coaching, because people think that you want to get in their business. People think that somebody always want money, but the benefit the benefit behind the coaching is what people need to understand. What's the benefit behind me being coached by Coach T or any coach? What's the benefit of me being coached behind it? You ever get that?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, actually, the people that I have right now came because they knew. They said just when they seen it, they just knew that they needed it. Now, I'm sure they didn't just need it right now, but they just came to the realization that this is what they needed to do. So everybody has to come to that place of reckoning, right? To understand that I can't do this by myself. And I think that's the biggest thing. We think we can fix it. I can do it by myself. I'm gonna do everything that I can uh, to switch this situation, which is it is possible, but it takes so much longer. And why do we choose the hard road when we have people out here that can help us get there faster? Just like what I said, I don't know that I really gave my story, but this started because I had bad credit at one time. Um, and when you're young, no one teaches financial literacy. It's not even a required course in class, in life, in school, but it's something that we need. So we come out, most of us come out ignorant, come out of school, we go into real life with money that it looks like we have the ability to pay the bills, but because we don't know how to budget, we don't know how to structure anything, we're always chasing the
Mm-hmm.
next paycheck. And so, of course, we all have been through hard times, but I got in, bad. It was just, I came out. I never was good before I was bad. I just was where I was at, made bad decisions, and it became worse. So when I was ready for the house, I couldn't get no house because my credit sucked. And then I had so much debt that, going to these car lots, getting a car, they don't work. You don't pay for them. You go to the next car lot because you just like, I'm not
Yeah.
dealing with that. Or the medical bills that you just don't pay because you don't have the money. And because you barely surviving. So when I got to the place where I wanted the house, and they told me, my credit was somewhere in the 500s, but it was below 550 because I knew I had favor, because the man said, well, We can't finance you with that score that low. But what I will do is I'll do an owner finance for 1 year. I'll give you a year to clean this up and get your credit up to at least 550. I think I can find somebody that will finance you for that. He said, but you'll have to wipe all this debt out. Told me all the things I needed to do. It was stressful because I had to get my credit report. I had to dispute stuff. I didn't know where to start. I was just digging in pieces, but I did enough in that year to get up to 550 to get my first house. Um, and at that point, I began to realize how many years I had already lost. So I continued to do the work, continue to clean up, continue to work extra and pay off. I didn't want to just let the bill sit on my credit report for 7 years until they fell off because
Right.
I wanted things within the
Right.
next few years. So I was going to have to do the work to clean up what I messed up. We get mad because I'm just gonna wait 7 years. But we made bad decisions.
Right.
Somebody told us don't go get that car, but we thought we knew more than them, or we just couldn't wait and we went and got it. And everything that they said happened, but we still don't feel like we have to pay for that. But
Right.
it was on me. God told, I felt strongly about paying off those debts.
Mhm.
Um, and God gave me the ability to do that. And so I kept telling them, when I was in a really bad place, if you give me the income, if you reverse this thing and put me back in a position where I can be the giver that I desire in my heart, I will never stop giving. And when he did that, that was the year I began to sow. I had always been a tither,
Mhm.
but not really a major seed sower into people. Um, I increased my tithing, I increased my offering, and I began to sow into individuals, into companies, into every time I felt the need, I made room for it in my budget to make sure that I always had something to sow if God said so.
Right. So, and I get it, and that's all, that's good information. But when you said that the guy told you what you had to do to get to
Mhm.
550, how did you discipline yourself? Because that's the hardest thing for us today, is to discipline ourselves. Forget everybody else. Me.
Yeah.
Every time I get to disciplining myself, life happened again, and I fall right back. And I just, again, right now it's just like I can't concentrate on that type of discipline, trying to do that when we make these mistakes and we put ourselves in these areas, and now we don't know how to clean it up. So how did you discipline yourself to get in there?
Now, my answer may not be your solution, but
That's why.
it's my answer.
Right.
But I don't know if this is a curse or a blessing. Some people may say it's a blessing, others, and sometimes I feel like it's a curse. But
Okay.
if you know me, anybody knows anything about me, I'm just like, I'm so disciplined. I need to smack myself. Like, it's like when I say discipline, because I was, it was the structure that I was born in, right? So as I came up, that discipline has always been there. So it kind of stretched out to every area of my life. And so I don't know, when I get my mind focused on something, it's just, it's not hard for me. It's just very simple. This is what you need to do it. And I realize that's not normal. I know that. That's why I say I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing, because there's some things that has happened in my life where I wanted to do something different and I felt like I needed to do something different, but I couldn't go. I just like the discipline that was instilled in me would not allow me to go against the grain. So
Mm.
that's why I feel like it's a curse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Um,
But
I
so
wish I
to
could be full of
someone else,
that type of discipline.
I know. So to someone else, I would say, um, the way that you can discipline yourself at first, it's not going to happen overnight. If you haven't been disciplined, and discipline usually is hard for most people, but we can retrain our thinking, but it requires discipline. But I would say continue, like put up notes. remind yourself of your why. Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to create a budget every month? Why do I want to watch my spending? Why do I want to have a savings? Um, why do I want to fix my credit? You know, and your answers to those why, those questions, your whys to those questions should be your motivation. There should be something in there, but sometimes, you know, write the vision, make it plain. Sometimes we need to see it. So you got to put it somewhere that you're going to look at it and be reminded, because life is going to happen every day and distractions are going to come up every day to make you feel like I don't have time to do this. I ain't got time to focus on this. But
Right.
no, you don't. But you got to make time. We make time for the things that we want. We need to make time for the things that we need.
Amen. So how do you meet with these clients? How do you meet with your clients? I know we got our little thing going with the Graceful Five. So I get so I get a whole lot of you. But how we how would you meet with other clients?
Most of my clients are, oh no, right now all of my clients are virtual, but I can meet in person if you're in the same city that I'm in. But it's not, even if you're in the same city and you prefer to meet virtual, I do Zoom, I do any of the, Messenger. um, I don't do WhatsApp, but anything that's stable. I don't really like Messenger. Most of the time, it's pretty stable. I haven't really had any issues with people not wanting to use Zoom, but I'm just saying, if there's a reason why you can't or you don't want to use it, there are other options. Or we do face to face again if you're in the same city that I'm in. And I'm currently in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville or Clarksville?
Clarksville.
Clarksville, Tennessee. Okay. It's snow over there.
No, it was beautiful today, like 75.
Good for you. It's 43 over here this morning. So now there's different types of coaching. I know you say you do finance. I know you say you do credit. What other coaching do you do any other coaching? Is that all you do is finance and credit?
No, like again. I said, well, in the beginning, you may have missed it, but I can coach you in any area of your life. But every coach has a niche, which means they have a specific area that they focus in. And my focus is finance and credit because I have my own history there. I have my own experience where I was able to bring my credit score from 550 right up under 800. And I have my own history of how I paid off over $80,000 worth of debt in about 18 months. So I use my life experience in those areas to help people to be able to do the same. We have to be free. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have the burden of this debt sitting on us, but we take the weight, and now we have the power.
Hmm.
Because once you get the weight off of you, you have the ability, and you have the credit card. I have credit cards. I have a lot of credit cards, but guess what? They have zero balances. And that's because I use them, but I pay them off every month. I Now every now and then, I'll catch a straggler because of maybe something extenuating that comes up, but I never have. Well, I will say in the last 2 3 years, I haven't gone more than 3 months with the balance on my card. But my point is never to charge anything that you don't pay. But the best way to build credit on a credit card is to put your monthly bills on it, stuff that you already have to pay. And so you're getting credit because I just paid my KUB. Well, I have the money in the bill to pay the KUB, put it on your credit card. You take the money out of your bank and you pay the credit card. So it shows you had a charge and you paid off the credit card in 30 days.
Now, would you
But you have
suggest somebody putting all their bills on one credit card, or would you suggest them? Is it a bad thing to put all your bills on multiple credit cards, or should you just put it on one credit card?
I would
'Cause
say what is
I
ever
made a mistake.
easiest. You made a mistake, yeah, by spreading them out. Yes.
I did, and Lord have mercy, it was hard to catch up with that. Now I got credit cards that had to get shut down because I was like, oh, that was a bad idea
Yeah.
for me. I don't know about
Yeah.
nobody else, but
I would, if you have a credit card, I always encourage, well, I would always encourage anyone to use your credit card that has rewards. If it has cash back or it has points, because
Mhm,
when you're paying off bills that you got to pay anyway, and you're getting free money,
mhm.
it's free money. And so you can either use those, either the cash back, you use it however you want to, and the points, like I had enough points on my credit card to pay for a trip to Vegas, round trip to Vegas. And that was just from me paying for my regular bills. And of course, I do a little shopping every now and then too, but those points add up to free money, and it benefits you in the end, but you have to be disciplined to only do what you know that you can afford to pay. That's the where the discipline comes in. I don't have just free card plan out here for me to just go wake up one day and say, I just feel the need to max out this card today for no reason. I No, that's not using financial smartness.
Now we ain't gonna have to ask this question. I know we discussing this and we've discussed it before, but the question came across again from one of the viewers. So I'm gonna ask it this way: when it comes to and I'm not taking anything away from what they're asking, but I want to make sure that you get the question um, in a way that it's not making it seem as though you're putting church down. So when it comes to this spiritual coaching, um, what's the difference between someone coming to you to be coached as opposed to them going to their own leaders? Is there a fine line you draw between that? Because people get that people some I feel like people get it confused that you trying to take people away from what they're already being told by their leaders. But I feel like coaching is a little bit more intimate than that. So you understand which way I'm going with that question?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
just want to make sure you was done. Uh, Coaching is intimate. Coaching is very intimate. You get to know your coach as well as your coachee. And well, someone coming to me or anyone for spiritual coaching is not neglecting their spiritual leader. Once again, I'm not giving them advice. I would not be that person to tell them whatever reason that they're there. If they're there to vent about their pastor, if they're there to um, praise the pastor, if they're there to say something about changing churches, spiritual, you're I'm going to reflect them back on their spirituality, which is not their leader, which is not their church. It's about them and where they're trying to go, what's has them in a bad place, good place, what are you trying to get to? What are you trying to achieve? So I'm just helping to guide their own journey. Again, will I give them an example of my life? Maybe, but I'm not giving them advice.
Right.
I'm just really a partner, because we have convinced ourselves that we can do life on our own, even though we say, I need you to survive. We say that out loud, but we really try to do life on our own, because when the times get rough, we don't reach out. We don't tell somebody I need help. We don't say this is the situation I am, because maybe we're embarrassed because we felt like we could do it ourselves. So we
Right.
have to just kind of humble ourselves and recognize that we have sisters and brothers for a reason. We have doctors and lawyers for a reason. We have coaches. We have everybody that God has put here for a reason. And we need people to be able to walk us through some things, because someone else, we always have a blind spot. Even us, when we're talking with Graceful Five, we may not always understand where another person in the group is coming from, but somebody will catch it, and somebody is able to pick up. if something was said wrong or if something was explained wrong, somebody else can hear the heart or be able to say, okay, do you mean this? But that's just because you have listening ears, people that genuinely want to hear what you have to say, and they're not just waiting for you to finish and walk away.
Right.
So
And
that would be my yeah. I don't think they're overstepping any bounds. If they feel like they need to tell their pastor about it, I mean, tell the pastor about it. But like again, I'm not giving them any advice. It's just to help them on their own spiritual journey.
okay, she said she okay. Where do you if a person wait a minute, my screen went out. If a person can't afford it, would you still see them, or what
Yes,
would you suggest that they do?
I would suggest you make a consultation, and then we will discuss all of that in the consultation. Because the consultation again, your first consultation, it is 15 minutes. It is free. So we will work out something at that point.
Okay. Okay. She says she'll go on the website. All right. So
Okay.
anybody that want to reach out to Coach TaMuriele Stapleton, um, the website is at the bottom, healpeoplehelppeople.com/TS coaching. And you can probably just go to the website anyways because she has a online store where you can purchase um, different items for the house, different items for miscellaneous things that you want to do, even carry out into the world. Um, she also is an author. So you want to talk about the book?
Sure. I have I just moved it, but it's called Value Creator. It's the 21 day devotional, and it's basically 21 days of you taking your own power back. It's 21 days of prayer, 21 days of devotion. Uh well, for each day you get a prayer, devotional, and a declaration for you to decree in your atmosphere. I'm all about the words that come out of your mouth because our words are powerful, and I'm about helping people understand how powerful the words are that come out of their mouth. So we have to stop speaking life and death, and we have to be able to catch ourselves when we begin to speak life and death. You know, we say, I'm never going to be out of this situation, but at the same time, praying for God to deliver us from the situation. So we got to start speaking stuff before we see it. And so we just have to change the way that we approach situations. And that's what those declarations are. It's giving you your power back, helping you to believe that I am valuable, I am necessary, and I am needed. So you can also order that on the website as well.
All right. You see the question?
Now, oh, did I miss the question? What ages do you coach? I do
Mm-hmm.
coach, I'll specify 18 and older. Anyone 18 and older.
18
And
and
they could
older.
be 17 getting ready to graduate because I will be doing a session for the young adults as well, but I do kind of focus on those that will be like getting ready to graduate, going into college, get at the point where they need to start understanding money and not being scared of money and recognizing the power that you can really have in money. You know, I think because we live so long just chasing it, trying to make things happen, we're never living comfortable enough to really explore different options.
And that's good. That is good. So does anybody have any other questions before we close out?
One other thing I wanted to say as well, it's okay. One other thing I had wanted to say as well is would also be a great gift for mothers to give to their young adults, their 17-year-old, 18-year-old, as a Christmas gift, a coaching session. You know, give them a coaching session just to kind of introduce them to see if this is something that they want to continue and do themselves.
And I agree with that. I think that we mistake our children in this lifetime to be more than open with us. And I know some folks say my child tell me everything and this and that, but I thought the same thing about my kids. And so someone was actually behind the scenes assisting them in areas that um, they would never bring to me. And I was never offended. I just think that if your child, if there's a certain way, because sometimes parents can be kind of, we can be rough, we can be aggressive, and our children need our help. And y'all know how you is. Lord, how many times I got to tell you this? How many times I got to show you this for you get it? And they don't necessarily want to come to us. So I think coaching and mentoring is good for our youth, even as teens, because their minds going from middle school to high school, their minds are yet evolving, and their thinking and their creativity is coming out. And when they don't have the direction to be stirred in the right way, when they don't have the knack to the motivation to want to sit down and listen to somebody, what happens is the cycle of the trending cycle of I'm gonna get to it, but I ain't gonna but I get to it when I can. I'm gonna get to it, but when I can. They'll find themselves working a job all their life and never got to the actual assignment or the vision that God gave them. So I feel like if you have vision and you're not to and you're having a hard time trying to figure out the next step, coaching is going to be your lifeline, because you got somebody who have the tools, the experience, and the expertise to assist you with the next level or the next step in that vision. And it let's just break it down and say it the way it should be said. Everybody is not following the rule steps in the Bible. We're not. Okay. We're not allowing God. So we get into folly up. And I feel like a coach is the actual lifeline that God throws us. Find yourself in a funk. If you find yourself in a space and you can't decide which way to go, it's just like we tell ourselves, talk it over with somebody. The best way to go is to somebody that you know is going to push you instead of holding you back. Somebody that's going to teach you instead of instead of leaving you lingering and wondering. I always tell folks, don't let I always say it like this: don't let dictatorship rule in your life, because it'll be what everybody else think you should be doing instead of you. And then I always used to tell my kids, don't allow anybody to taint what I taught you. So don't let anybody taint your idea of coaching. Don't let anybody taint your idea of mentorship. It works. I'm telling y'all, it works. And if I could be very transparent, when I got to Colorado, I was lost. I was. And I know that I know that I followed God's orders. I know I did. But when I got to that place, it was like, okay, I'm here. What I do next? And it's sort of like everything just went blank, because for just a moment, maybe a whole year, fear fear set in. And I, it's like, Marie, you forgot how to pray, Marie. You forgot how to call on God. And I needed to understand what I was going through. So Coach T, Coach TaMuriele, I call her Coach T, y'all, kind of guided me back into who I am and who I already was. I just needed her to help recharge my battery, because my battery was going dead. Coaching recharges our batteries. They recharge us, because sometimes when you think that the vision is not working, it's gonna work for your good. He said all things work together to the good to those who love him. So if and to them who are the called, not to them who are called, but to them who are the called. And because I am the called, everything that I took from Coach TaMuriele is now working for my good, because I took what she gave me, and day by day, step by step, I came out of this little shell. Now, when she talked about Grace for Five, I'll tell you, I'm a sharpshooter. I am, because it's not because obnoxious, rude, or anything like that. It's because I have a passion in certain areas, and it kind of goes before me sometimes. And sometimes when you got passion can be um become a form of lust. And that's my message for next week. So I hope y'all tune into the seven deadly sins because so it can turn into that. So she taught me how to curve that passion into understanding that yes, that's who I am in that area, but you still got to keep this open because in that particular area, just because you're passionate about something and everybody else around you is passionate about the same thing, you'll find yourself arguing with the opinions of everybody in the same situation when all y'all just passionate about the same thing. So bring it down a notch. Bring it down a notch. Let me show you how to say this, and let me show you how to do this. And she did that. She showed me how to put my from abuse to use retreat together. She showed that was all coaching me in the business that God had gave me. So it works. And y'all seen it came to fruition. Y'all just didn't know it was Coach T that was behind the scenes. So everybody need a coach. I'm just saying we all need a coach. And I just find that because she's a black woman, she's an entrepreneur. This is a black owned business that we need to start supporting that. We need to start to pushing them out there. We need to start to making sure that we do our part for our brothers and our sisters for real to make sure that even if we not where we need to be, we push them and we expound and we talk about and we network on what they're doing so that we can get our foot in the door. Because when you helping spread the word, the word comes back good on your behavior, on your behalf, and then doors start opening for you. So I'm glad that you were able to join us and give us a little bit about coaching and also the difference between coaching and mentorship, because those are two different things, and a lot of people get those kind of confused because you don't want to walk around saying you're a coach not certified, but then but what you really do is mentor. So so it's you got to be careful with that because you got somebody life in your hands. So you don't want to just throw anything out there, and you can't just give people anything, especially as a coach. So if you guys need a coach, y'all can once again healpeoplehelppeople.com/T for Tom, S for Sam, or might I say T for Tested, S for Solutions Coaching, CoachING. It ain't Ebonics. Put the G on the end. Okay. If we don't have any further questions, then Coach, I thank you for coming on. I think you got two people that's going to be in your inbox or they're going to be going on there. I hope y'all get what y'all need because y'all will. Do you have any last words for the world when it comes to putting their ducks in order for the near future?
Yes. First, I want to say thank you for inviting me on and allowing me the space to be able to talk to those who join and those who will join. I'm just again, I'm very passionate just to help people. That is the area that God put me in. I am an encourager at heart, and I always want to help. And I think we just have to be more wise more wise. I think we have to be wiser about our financial situation. And I don't think we understand that we're not as broke as we think we are. We just are not structured to be able to get out of the debt that we're in. And so I encourage you, if it's not me, find someone that you talk to. Because another thing is, we don't, like I said, we don't even tell people that we are having a problem. Have a conversation with somebody to let them know what you're struggling with. Listen to their suggestions. They may suggest you go to a coach, or they may suggest you go to your pastor, whatever it may be, instead of us saying, the best thing I can say today, instead of you continuing to tell yourself that, let me just try to figure this out, grab somebody's hand, grab my hand, and let me walk with you, because that's why I'm your accountability partner. When you're working out with someone, you find yourself motivated to get up and meet them and be there. But when you're working out with yourself, if you have those mornings that you just don't want to get up, then you just say, I'm not getting up. So it's just having that extra push, and let me be your extra push so I can take you from where you are right now to where you want to be. And that's all I want to do. I just want to set everyone up so that they can have a happier, healthier life.
Okay. And I believe the person said I need to get this as a gift. How do I do that?
She uh, can you either send me the information, send Marie. If you go on to, I am in the process. I haven't actually posted it on there yet, but there will be an actual gift certificate on the session for the gift because that is something, Christmas is coming up. I just hadn't posted it yet. I was going to do it the 1st of November, but I can send that gift out or I can go ahead and get it posted on the website for anyone to be able to purchase a session for someone else. So it'll be a gift certificate, but if you want to, it's not there yet. So if you want to just schedule a free session with me, or if you want to just send me an email, you can send an email to healed people help people. That's not right. You can send it to tested solutions at healedpeoplehelppeople.com. Did you get that, Marie? Tested solutions at healedpeoplehelppeople.com. If you would like a gift card to give to someone else, because I don't have it on the website yet, if you can just send me an email to the email she just posted. Yes. And I will make sure that you're able to proceed for that gift.
All right. So we pretty much thank y'all for all the questions. I hope you guys learned something from tonight and got the nuggets that you need. There's a lot of coaches out there, y'all. Coach T ain't not the only coach out there. So if you feel like what she's saying is going to benefit you, even if you don't find her, find a coach. Get you the help that you need so that you can continue to push forward and move forward in the things of God and the assignments that He has given you to. Because sometimes God give us something and we just, Lord, what do we do with it? Well, I like to believe again that He put people like Coach T in our lives so that she can give us what we need to make the next move or make the next step. So again, that's Tested Solution. The email address is Tested Solutions at healpeoplehelppeople.com. Then you can also go to the website, which was pinned, and it's www.healpeoplehelppeople.com/. T for tested, S for solution, coaching with the ing on the end. COHAING. Let me say it like that. All right. Thank you for joining us on another session of Friday Straight Transparency, where we give you real, we give you truth, we keep it transparent, and we want to make sure that what you need to continue to press, because in these last days, you need to press into what the things of God and what He's doing for you so that you can get all you can while you can. So we'll see y'all next week for another segment, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live. Peace. I love y'all.